Hey there, welcome everybody. We're replaying the 1987 APBA Mets, and I think we're game 3, 6, 8. I believe this is game 9, April 17th. We're playing in St. Louis. It's John Tudor against Bobby Ojeda, both southpaws. They're both, I believe, C pitchers, so I don't expect it to be a pitcher's duel, although I am going to let them get some innings for sure and ramp up their pitch count because I just don't want to make any changes. John Tudor's a C, and I believe Bobby Ojeda is a C as well. They're both C pitchers. They both have good control. I think that Tudor has the advantage because he's got a Y as well as the Z, and we're going to start rolling right away. Here's the pitch from Tudor to Wilson, and Wilson lines it into center field for a single. So Wilson is on at first, and Tim Tuffle is the next batter. He's a right-handed batter playing at second base today. And then he's followed by the on-deck batter, Keith Hernandez, a left-hander. And here's the pitch to Tuffle, and the pitch, and there goes Wilson. Pitch is a strike, and Wilson is safe at second base. Throw down, not in time. So Wilson steals second. That's a 21. That's going to be a strikeout. So Tuffle strikes out. And next is Keith Hernandez, and we're going to switch Keith Hernandez around. I'm doing those adjustments as I go. He bats left, throws left as well. Keith Hernandez. Jeez, I'm having issues with this thing now. All right, that's going to be a 15. That's going to be a line drive base hit to right field. Around third is Wilson, comes in to score, so it's an RBI single by Keith Hernandez. The Mets are up 1-0 here in the top of the first inning. Hernandez's average speed. APBA is the first game I ever played, so I really enjoy APBA. Let me track down the chart. That I believe is a 27 with a runner at first. And we have to check. Smith is a 10, and Tommy Hurt is a 9. So these guys are fielding column 1. Pendleton is a 5, so that's going to be a 5-4-3 double play. Grounded Hart to Pendleton, goes to Hurt, back to Clark. 5-4-3 double play, if I'm not mistaken. And that's going to get John Tudor out of the inning. And it is 5-4-3 double play. So I remember that from playing APBA for years. Oh, that's it. Double play. We're using iScore to keep track. It's does all your stats for you. And it's a free app, so it doesn't cost you very much. Now, I picked up this 1988 set of Topps cards, and I have both the pictures here, pictures of the pitchers. It just makes it more vivid for me. Coleman, Vince Coleman, he bats both. We're going to put him batting both. Let's see. Yep, bats both. Here's the pitch to Coleman. That's a 13, and that's ball 4. So Coleman walks, and that's not the guy you want to walk. Next batter is Ozzie Smith. He also bats both. So we're going to make him. And here's the pitch to Smith. And it's high, and there goes Coleman. The throw down by Carter, and he is safe at second base. That's how APBA does stolen bases. When you get the single, it tells you, hey, this guy's going to steal second. So it's a 1-0 count to Smith. Here's the pitch. That's a 41, a 28. I believe Santana Santana's an 8, so he's an average shortstop. And a 28 is basically the runner at second. He's going to be a ground ball shortstop. And Santana looks Coleman back, fires to first, and throws out Smith by half a step. Smith hustling down the line. Next is T-Bone, Tommy Herr, second baseman. He's fast. And he's got a pretty good, he doesn't have a really good power card, I just noticed. He's got a 6 at 66 and a 6 at 11. Here's the pitch from Bobby Ojeda, 46. That's a strikeout. So Herr strikes out, 2 outs now. Vince Coleman at second base. Will Clark. Here's the pitch to Will Clark, 34. That's lifted to center field. High fly. Wilson comes in, has it in his sights, and puts it away. So the Cards leave 1, score none. And at the end of 1, it's Mets 1, Cardinals nothing. Darryl Strawberry has got 6 home runs, and I think this is the 9th game of the year. And that's lifted to opposite field, to left field. Coleman back a couple of steps. He's under it. It's a long fly ball. Let's undo that. Let's do that one more time. Fly ball, 7. So 1 out for the Mets here in the top of the second. 25. That's line base hit for McReynolds. McReynolds on with a single. Hojo, 64. And there goes McReynolds, the throw down from Steve Lake, and he is out. So McReynolds caught stealing. He's out, caught stealing, and it's going to be 2. He's batting from the right side, so it's the second baseman covering 2-4. Hojo, that's a strike on Hojo. He's 0-1. That's a fly ball left field. And right there is left fielder Vince Coleman. And it's Willie McGee. That's 3 outs. Willie McGee in the bottom of the second. You gotta use the shaker. Hey Philip, how you doing, brother? Yeah. Reynolds thrown out. Oh, geez. That thing keeps on flying around. That's a ground ball right at the second baseman. Tuffle flips to Hernandez. 1 down. Jim Lindemann, outfielder 1, with a 1 at 66. The pitch from Ojeda, 43. That's a ground ball up the middle. Tim Tuffle over to first. Throws out Lindemann. So Tuffle is seeing some action at second base. Pendleton next. And that's going to take us into the second column. So that's lined and cut off quickly by Wilson. Line to left field. Wilson comes over, cuts it off, and keeps Pendleton to a single, a 2-out single for Terry Pendleton. Next is the catcher, Steve Lake. I'm using actual lineups, 13. That's ball 2. And that's a 53. Now, I believe that's going to be an error on the shortstop because the number is 18, and it is. So Santana boots one. Runners on first and second now. E6. Boy, these are very, very fundamental rules. I mean, that's it. Anybody with an 8 in the league would make that error. They don't differentiate very much. You know, that's the nature of APBA Basic. Very, very simple. They were never able to get like a system that was just a little bit more detailed without really complicating it. They really complicated it with the master game. That was something beyond belief. No matter how long you played the basic game, it was still quite a task to learn the master game, because that really, you needed to be a master. I don't know at what, but you needed to be a master. So Tudor's up, and that's a 52. with runners on first and second. That's going to translate into a 27. And the 27 is going to be a ground ball to third. Hojo across the diamond. And that's a third out. Side retired. Mets come up in the top of the third inning. We're playing APBA Basic, one of my favorite games. The basic game is, I mean, it's beautiful because it's so simple. Rafael Santana, 53. That's going to be a ground ball to Tommy Herr, and he boots it. That's going to be an E4. Oh, wait. Tommy Herr is like the best of the best in fielding. So let's see if that's an error. And it still is an error. So that really doesn't matter how good you are. It's going to be an error on Tommy Herr. And Santana's on at first. We're going to get Ojeda to bunt. And that's going to be a successful bunt. Oh, wait a second. That's a strike. That's 2 strikes. We rolled a 22, but on Ojeda's card is a 13. So we're going to have to roll again. There's 2 strikes on Ojeda. Oh, Jesus. Keeps on flying out. I don't know why. 65, 35. I don't know what that is now. I got to check that real quick. And the bunt with a runner on first, 35. That's a double play. F, batter safe at first. W, base on ball. No, it's a 2-6-4 double play. 2-6-4. So let's see what that means. I don't even know what that means, 2-6-4. What happens exactly? 35 says double play, runner out at second, batter out at first. Okay, 2-6, and this is all right. 2-6-4. I got it. So how are we going to run that? So we're going to do a ground ball, 2-6, and then to the first second baseman covering first, and that's going to be out on a force out. What happens? Wait a second. That's 2 outs. Okay. So Bobby had the grounds out to throw catcher, shortstop, second baseman Tommy. I don't know what. There's 2 outs, so that's really what counts. Mookie Wilson. Wilson's 1 for 1. He singled in the first against John Tudor, the pitch from Tudor. 42. That's a strikeout, and that retires the side. Bottom of the third. 1-0 Mets. Vince Coleman. That's a 21. That's fly ball left field. McReynolds there. Puts it away. 61. 23. Another oddball APBA number where somebody gets an error of some kind. Fielding 1 for the – I don't know that the Mets are fielding 1. I believe they're fielding 2. So 23 is going to be an E center field. Wilson, let's look at what Wilson is. If Wilson's a 2, it's an error on Wilson. If he's a 3, it is not, and I doubt that Wilson. Yeah, Wilson's a 2. So that's a ball that clanks off Wilson's glove in center, and that's going to put the whiz, Ozzie Smith, on at first. So 1 out, Ozzie Smith on at first. Tommy Herr. And you know what? We are going to hit and run with Tommy Herr. Started doing that a little bit more lately. Let's do a hit and run. We're on first. Okay, here's the pitch to Herr. 23, that's a 26. So that's going to move the runner over 4-3. So Smith moves to second. There's 2 outs now, and it's Jack Clark. Here's the pitch from Ojeda. Looks in to Carter for the sign. Sets and he deals. 34, that's lifted to center. A few steps to his left is Wilson, and he puts it away. And that's it. 3 innings of play. 1-0 Mets. Tim Tuffle leading it off. Tuffle bats right. Pitch from Tudor. 62. And that's ball, high outside. Again, 51 this time. That's line base hit to left for Tuffle. So Tuffle's on with a single. Keith Hernandez. Tit for tat, we're going to do a hit and run with Hernandez. That's a 42. That's a 14. That's a 14 hit and run. That's going to be strike. Runner out stealing 2-6. If runner has an 11 on first column, let's see what happens. He does not. So that's going to be caught stealing 2-6. Tuffle's thrown out. Keith Hernandez still at bat. And that's going to be snake eyes. That's going to be second column. So Hernandez drives one into the gap. That's going to roll to the wall. McGee plays it off a hop and gets it in quickly to Tommy Hearn, holds Hernandez to a double, a one-out double for Keith Hernandez, Mex. Although his family was from Spain, his nickname is Mex. Next is Gary the Kid Carter, one out. Here's the pitch. Oh, that's snake eyes, and that's going to be trouble. Let's see if Carter can get a hold of this one. And it's cut off quickly. A 7. We're going to have to look with a runner at second. Now, Hernandez's average speed. So we're going to look at average speed with a runner at second base. A 7 is a single runner scores. So they're going to wave Hernandez around, and he's going to score. It's an RBI single for Gary Carter. Gary the Kid Carter comes through big time for the Mets. He's going to go station to station. He is a slow runner. And this is Darryl Strawberry, who's having a real impressive beginning of the season. He got 6 home runs, and this is 9th game. And that's a ground ball at Tommy Hearn. And he's going to flip to second for the force. That's all they'll get. Strawberry hustles down the line. It's a fielder's choice, 4-6. And Strawberry's on at first on the fielder's choice. And we're going to double check that because 26, yeah. Kevin McReynolds, he's 1 for 1. He's single. Darryl Strawberry takes his lead off first. There's 2 outs, 56, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Tudor blows it by McReynolds. And we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It's 1-0. Oh, 2-0. Excuse me. 2-0 Mets. Willie McGee is leading it off. Switch hitter batting from the right side. 23. That's a fly ball to right. Right there is Strawberry makes the catch. 1 down. We're moving and grooving right now. Hopefully that doesn't change. 61. That's a ground ball to second. Tim Tuffle. 2 out. And it's Terry Pendleton. It's a 44. That's line base hit for Pendleton, so he's on with a single. 2 out single, and Steve Lake, the catcher, Steve Lake, has a so-so card. That's a 45. That is going to be ball 2 because Ojeda has a Z. 31, and that's going to be – I hate looking this up. It's one thing that Stratomatic does amazingly well. They make a lot of the results right off the card. 9 is an out. It's a ground ball to third. Up with it is Johnson. Fires to first for out number 3. 5-3. We go to – what do we go to now? We are in the top of the 5th. Hojo up. Hojo's 0 for 1. He flied out. Here's the pitch. 61. That's a 22. And let's see what we got for a first baseman. Will Clark is a terrible first baseman. He's got like a 2, which is a very low number for a first baseman. So that may be a 22. We're going to see what that becomes. Nobody on. 22, fielding column 3 is an E1. So that becomes an E1. You're going to give Tudor the error. And let's look at Tudor. Tudor's a 2, so a pitcher should be in the B fielding column. Let me look at there's some special rules. It has nothing for the pitcher, though. It talks nothing about the pitcher. It's got fielders and what fielding column you would look at. But Pitcher doesn't show up, so it's going to be an E1. Oh, no, I just did E3. Let's do that again. Error 1. Same error. All right, so Johnson's on. That is, both teams have 2 errors. And Rafael Santana is going to hit away 42. That's a strikeout. Santana strikes out looking. Ojida's going to bunt. Got a terrible card. I don't know why I'm even bunting with him. That's 2 strikes. And that's a 23 is a 30. That may be an actual successful bunt here. With a run around first to 30, and it is. It's the third baseman. Throws to the second baseman, covering first, and Hojo moves to second. So that's an out. Sacrifice bunt, 5-4. And Hojo's in scoring position here. It's 2-0 Mets here in the top of the 5th. Mookie Wilson, who's 1 for 2 on the day, and he strikes out. Curveball gets Wilson. And we get the pitcher Tudor up against Bobby Ojeda. Mets are up 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th. 43, that's a ground ball. Comebacker to Ojeda. Feels his position, 1 away. Vince Coleman, 0 for 1. 65, that's popped up. Catcher throws his mask away, makes the catch. 2 down, and Ozzie Smith, 54, that's lifted to right. Back a few steps is Strawberry. Got it in his sights and puts it away. 3 up, 3 down, easy inning for Bobby Ojeda. This is exactly the game that we want to play right now, especially after a long day at work. 27, that's a ground ball, hit hard right at Pendleton. Pendleton fires to first. 5-3, 1 out. So Tuffle is down for the first out. Keith Hernandez was 2 for 2. And the white die goes flying. 56, that's going to be a strikeout. So Hernandez goes fishing. Slider gets Hernandez. 2 out. And it's Gary Carter. 66, that's a deep drive. Back goes Coleman to the track to the wall. That's out of here. Gary Carter, the kid, connects. Gives the Mets a 3-0 lead. He got all of that. Into the left field seats for Gary the Kid Carter. Mets are up 3-0 here in the top of the 6th. Next is Darryl Strawberry. And that's a ball that's driven into the gap, and that's going to bounce off the wall. McGee plays it in quickly, but Strawberry is in with a 2-out double, and that's going to get the bullpen for the Cardinals going. Here's the pitch to McReynolds. That's going to be line and caught by the second baseman for out number 3. Herr makes a nice catch on that line drive. Hit right on the screws, but right at Tommy Herr. Next, and who's up is Tommy Herr. He's a switch hitter batting righty against the left-hander Ojeda. Now, Ojeda's gone 6 innings, so he's going to become a B. There's an additional rule in this game that if a C pitcher goes 6 innings, actually he hasn't gone 6 innings yet. So this is his 6th inning. So once he completes this inning, he'll become a B. If he completes 7, he'll become an A. See what happens. Tommy Herr, the batter. The pitch from Ojeda, that's a ground ball, second base. Tuffle up with it, throws to Hernandez, 1 away. Will Clark was 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flied out. And that's a 12, and that's a ground ball again to Tuffle. Tuffle's getting a lot of action at second base. 2 outs. Willie McGee, who's 0 for 2. That's a 43. That's a comebacker to Bobby Ojeda. Feels his position, throws out McGee. 3 up, 3 down, and that's going to make Bobby Ojeda a B pitcher for the next inning. That's an advantage, but you never know. Since APBA doesn't stop home runs, no matter how good you are. You could be, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who you are. Sandy Koufax, you're giving up home runs to the worst guys. So this is a good, fun game. Light, super light. right? This is like drinking a mimosa. I've never had a mimosa, but I know it's a light drink. People drink it for breakfast, so it can't have a lot of oomph. Howard Johnson, 0 for 2, flight out, reached on an error against Tudor. That's going to be fly lifted to right field. Jim Lindemann is there, 1 away. Rafael Santana, that's lined. Base hit for Rafael Santana. He's on with a single. Ojeda's up, and again, we're going to bunt. That's a 35. That's 2 strikes. Again, we're going to bunt 51. That's a 14. I don't know what that's going to become now, but we're bunting here with him. That's going to be a Zeep. That's 2 balls. Okay, so the count is 2-2 now, and that's a 55. It's strike 3. That's out number 2. Ojeda trying to bunt, misses it, and Wilson. Santana's on at first. Wilson, that's a 23 on Wilson's card as a strikeout. And that's a bunch of strikeouts for John Tudor. I do not know how many strikeouts he does have. Now, I created the Ojeda card. It didn't come with that. As you can see, I created the card. It's white on the back. Pretty cool. Jim Lindemann leading it off against a B pitcher now, Bobby Ojeda, who's gone 6 innings of hitless. Oh, well, it's hitless, not hitless, runless ball. He's allowed 2 hits. Here's the pitch, 63, and that's lifted to left. McReynolds makes the catch, 1 down. Terry Pendleton, who's 2 for 2. And that's a 33. That's going to take us into the double column. Let's see what this is going to become. And that's a deep drive. Deep drive to left. Back goes McReynolds to the track, to the wall. That's out of here. Terry Pendleton makes it a 3-1 ball game. And that's going to reduce Ojeda back to C. Lake now, with 1 out, scores 3-1. 26, that's a 29. That's a comebacker. Ojeda feels his position and throws out Lake easily. Next is Tudor now. It's a 3-1 ball game in the bottom of the 7th. We're going to have to pinch hit for Tudor. And the new pitcher, let's see. We're going to kind of follow Horton pitched in this game. Let me see who pinch hit in this game. I like to stick to that as much as possible within reason. Horton pitches, and Lawless and Laga both play. So Lawless is a pinch runner. I don't know that we want to use him to hit. I don't know. He probably hits very poorly. So let's look quickly at the following game. The next game, let's see who pinch hits for the Cardinals. Pinch hitter for the Cardinals is going to be Oquendo and Pagnazzi. So those are the guys they're using to pinch hit. Oquendo and Pagnazzi. I have both of them, I believe. I have Doug DeCinces. I don't know if he's on the roster right now. Now, if you play Action PC Baseball, it keeps all the actual rosters for you and does all the transactions. I'm getting a bunch of different seasons from them, slowly but surely. I have 4 right now. No, 5, I think. 4. No, 4. And I'm going to get a bunch more over Christmas. But I played 3 games today, the opening games of the 1969 Mets season. Tom Seaver had pitched a 2-hitter. He was untouchable. All right, so Oquendo's going to bat for Tudor. Tudor's out. Horton is going to replace him as a pitcher. So let's see. We're going to have to write in Oquendo here. At sub, Jose. It's a pretty good ball game, 3-1 Mets. Oquendo bats both. They got a lot of switch hitters on this team. Holy smokes. Got a whole bunch of switch hitters. Oh, what happened here? Where's Oquendo? There he is. All right, Okendo's batting now, batting from the right side against the lefty Ojeda. Here's the pitch to Okendo, and that's going to be line base hit, single for Okendo. And we're looking at, we may have to, there's action in the Mets bullpen, that's for sure. But we don't want to let things get out of hand. Cone was being used in relief at this time. Got a pretty good card, and he's being used in relief. So I'm going to see who the Mets closer is right here. There's no stats on the APBA cards. In this game, they use Walter. Walter comes in. What was the score of this game? 4-3, and Walter comes in. So we're going to bring in Walter for the Mets. He's got a good card as well. I had to make his card. I don't know why. He may have gotten injured that year. I'm not exactly sure what happened to him, but he didn't have a lot of innings. He is a B. He's a lefty with a B and a W, though, so he does walk a lot of guys. So we're going to let with 2 outs, we're going to let Ojeda pitch to another batter, Vince Coleman. 1 out, Okendo takes his lead off first. And that's going to be a 15. That's going to be line to center field. Okendo over to third. It's going to be first and third. So Vince Coleman is on at first, and now it's the whiz, Smith. So we're going to bring in Walter. We're going to replace. We're going to replace Ojeda. Walter's going to come in for Ojeda. Walter is a lefty. And, yep. Let's make sure he's a lefty. He's down as a lefty. No, he's not down as a lefty. But I'm going to put him down as a lefty. So he's down as a lefty now. So he's going to be an A for this batter. So he's going to face and you know what? I didn't write in the stats for the guy. He's a B. He's a BW. So I got to write that in very quickly here. Let me do that. So he's going to be B. He's going to be a BW. B. W. And his, what was his name again? His first name? Gene Walter. Got to figure out what happened to Gene Walter because he was having a pretty good season. All of a sudden, poof, he's gone. So Gene Walter is on the mound. He's going to face the Wiz, Ozzie Smith, the Wizard of Oz. Ozzie Smith. Here's the pitch. 32. That's going to be a ground ball, second base. Tuffle flips to Santana, and that retires the side. 4-6. Say 3-1 ball game. We go to the top of the 8th. I have Okendo pitching. I do not know why I have him pitching. He's definitely not the pitcher. So we're going to bring in, who do we say we're going to bring in? Horton. So we have to write in Horton. Add sub. Thank God the guy's not Willie Horton. He's Ricky Horton. And he's going to be a C star brackets Z. And it's going to be Rick Horton. And he's a lefty. That's lefty, throws lefty. Highlight him. Oh, yes, highlight him. All right. So he's pitching now. And Okendo's out. Okendo did his job as a pinch hitter, singled. All right, Tim Tuffle. Rick Horton versus Tim Tuffle. Tim Tuffle bats from the right side. We're in the top of the 8th inning. It scores 3-1 Mets. And that's going to be 55. He's a C, so that's going to be line base hit for Tuffle. Tuffle's on with a single. And it's Keith Hernandez is 2 for 3. Here's the pitch to Keith Hernandez, and that's a hard hit ground ball right at Tommy Herr, who flips to Ozzie Smith, back to first. Will Clark scoops it. That's a 4-6-3 double play. 2 outs now. So Hernandez hits it sharply, but right at the second baseman. Sorry, I had to get something to drink. Gary Carter. Gary Carter's 2 for 3. He's singled and homered. Here's the pitch to Gary Carter, and that's a ground ball comebacker to Rick Horton. Flips to first. That retires the side. 3 up. Well, not 3 up, 3 down, but the double play gets the Mets, the Cardinals out of the inning. Helps them get out of the inning sooner. Tommy Herr, Gene Walter on the mound. 51. And Walter's a B, so that's going to be a single. Ground ball and through the left side. So Tommy Herr's on it. At first, Will Clark, the tying run at first base. He's got decent power. He's got he's got above average power. He's got a 1 at 66 and a 1 at 11. And that's Snake Eyes. So the game is tied. That's a deep drive, left field. Back goes McReynolds to the track, to the wall. That's out of here. Tie ball game. Jack Clark. Holy smokes. A no-doubter. Willie McGee now steps into the box against Gene Walter. Game is tied here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 45. That's a 40. That may be ball 4 because Walter is a W. Walter is a W. And it is. So McGee walks. Lindemann with nobody out. You know what? We are going to bunt. And that's a 64-13, strike 2. Lindemann's going to hit away now. 34, that's line to center field. Mookie Wilson right there. 1 out. Game is tied at 3 on the 2-run homer by Will Clark. That's a 31, and that's going to be an infield hit in the hole. Santana gets to it, but has no chance to throw him out at first. So it's first and second now against Walter. Next is Steve Lake. Here's the pitch. And that's lifted to right. Under it is Strawberry. Gets it in quickly. And now we got Horton. So who did I say was another pinch hitter? It was Oquendo and another guy. Oh, Pagnazzi. Let's see if I have Pagnazzi, because I'm not going to create him right now. I'm not going to create him, but hopefully I have him. If not, I'll create him after this, and I'll use him in the next game. Yeah, I don't have Pagnazzi. For some reason, I do not. Unless he went to a different team. Let's just check that real quick. See if Pagnazzi went to a different team this year, and maybe he's sitting on that other team. Because I know he was a guy that did play a lot. Let's see, Pagnazzi, 90, 80. Now he only has 48 at bats. That's why he's not carded. So I'm gonna have to create a card for him. Just not right now. Let's see who else they use as pinch hitters. They use Tito Landrum as a right fielder. Lawless is a pinch runner. I may have to create those guys. Let's see in the third game who they use. No pinch hitters in this last game. Let me see if I have Landrum or Lawless. Let's see if I have those guys. I have Greason, Booker, Johnson, Lance Johnson, Morris. Jeez, Cox. I don't have the guys that they're using. Disco Dan Ford is on this time. They call him Ernie. Oh, Curtis Ford. No, this is, I think, a different Ford. This is not Disco Dan. All right, let's. So this is what we're gonna do. Hold on, cowboy. All right. I'm trying to go back and see the who else are they using as a pinch hitter at this time? Because I don't have any of those guys. 1987 St. Louis schedule. And who are they using against the Mets? Let's see who they used against Montreal. All right, they're using Kurt Ford. I don't think I have Kurt Ford either. Where's Kurt Ford? Oh wait, there he is. That's the guy, Curtis Ford. Perfect. All right, so Curtis Ford is going to pinch hit. I do have Kurt Ford, and they did use him. I'm gonna have to make up a couple extra guys for this team. I don't have a Mike Laga either, and he's playing. All right, so Curtis Ford or Kurt Ford is going to pinch hit against Gene Walter with runners on first and second and 2 outs. So that helps us figure this out. Let's look at the Mets game 1, game 2. See the other pitchers that the Cardinals use against the Mets. They use Pat Perry, Todd Worrell. Let's see if we have those guys. I saw Worrell. Worrell seems to be a pretty good player, so we're going to probably use Worrell here. Todd Worrell, yeah, he's an A. Who else did I say? Pat Perry. Dolly is another guy that they use. I think I just saw him somewhere. So just setting this up. There he is, Bill Dolly. So he'll be. Those are the guys I'll be using as pitchers. All right. Let's see. First and second, Rick Horton, Kurt Ford. I didn't write him in. Let me write him in real quick. Kurt Ford. I got to write him in. And he is that's lefty, throws righty. We're going to bring him in as a pinch hitter. There we go. That's a 13. That's a 40. And I think that's another ball 4. Whereas on first and second and a 40. Wow. Can't catch a break right now. I'm going to have to bring in a B40s. Oh, no. What? I'm going to have to count up the Mets, see what they have here. If they're an A, they'll probably be an out. So 2, 5, 8, 16, 17, 19, 6 is 25, 30, 38. So, yeah, 40 is going to be, I'll tell you what that's 40. It's a ground ball to second base, and it's booted by Tuffle to load the bases. So the bases are loaded now. That's a third Met error. No, the fourth Met error of the game. Fourth Met error of the game. Holy smokes. What a disaster. Same error, same error. All right, everybody moves up one. Kurt Ford is on base on the miscue by Tim Tuffle. Loads the bases. We're in the bottom of the 8th. There's 2 outs. I'm going to have to go to the bullpen because Walter can't get anybody out. So this is a big issue. And we're going to take a look and see who we got here for the Mets in the bullpen that we can use. David Cone. We're going to bring in Cone. Cone's got a heck of a card, and the Mets were using him at this time. So Coney is being used by the Mets at this time. He's got a B, so he'll be an A. There he is, David Cone. I had to create his card as well. He's not carded, didn't have enough innings pitched. So he's going to come in for Gene Walter, who's been basically a disaster. Wait a second. I'm thinking I may have used this Cone here. No. Oh, yeah, there he is. Perfect. And as a sub, do I do a double switch? Nope. I'm not going to do a double switch right now. Okay. So Cone is in. He's a B. BYW. Let me write all that in. BYW. So he is a B, and that's going to be Y. So the Mets had a lot of control problems, like I'm seeing. And David Cohen is in the game. So we're going to pull Gene Walter. Gave up the 2-run homer that tied the game here. Gene Walter goes back to the bench. Not happy with his outing. All right. So now it's going to be Vince Coleman with the bases loaded. Pitch from David Cohn. That's going to be a 22. That's going to be an 8 with the bases loaded, but he's an 8 pitcher now, so that worked out for us. Bases loaded. And an 8 against an 8 pitcher is going to be a fly ball to right field. Right there, Strawberry, and that retires the side. Game is tied now, going to the top of the 9th. Darryl Strawberry is going to lead it off. And we're going to bring in Todd Worrell. So Worrell's going to be in there. We're going to have to replace Horton. And I don't have Worrell. I'm going to have to bring him in. He's an X. He's an AXZ. And he's the righty, throws right. So an A. Oh, we got to do the little asterisks. A. X. Z. Todd. I put in all my data for the pitchers, so I don't have to worry about looking that up. All right, Todd Worrell's coming in. Ford is out. I hope this game doesn't go very long because I don't have the players for St. Louis, so I'm going to have to kind of make them. What happens here? It's 3-3. We're in the top of the 9th. We're in St. Louis. Darryl Strawberry is leading it off. And that's a snake eyes. That's a deep drive to right field. Back goes Lindemann to the track, to the wall. That's out of here. Darryl Strawberry gives the Mets a 4-3 lead in the top of the 9th. Got a hold of that fastball and put it over the right field fence for home run number 7. Holy smokes. Let's see if in my bunch of cards I have Todd Worrell. See what he looks like. Steve Lake is there. Todd Worrell. I think I saw him. Pagnazzi. There he is. Todd Worrell. And I have Darryl Strawberry, who looks like seems the hero right now, right? Darryl Strawberry, there he is. Big man. Powerful dude. All right. Kevin McReynolds. And that's a 33. That's driven into the gap. That's going to roll to the wall. Around first is McReynolds into second. So that's McReynolds is a second with a double. There's nobody out. Howard Johnson. And Todd Worrell is an A. 44, that's an 8. And that's going to be an out, but that may move McReynolds to an 8 against an A. It's a ground ball to third. Terry Pendleton in the hole spins, fires, and gets Hojo by half a step. Hojo thinks he's safe. He's talking to an umpire. There's no review back then, but this is going to move McReynolds to third, so it's a productive out. Now you have the infield in for Rafael Santana. And that's a 24. That's going to be a fly ball to left. Coleman, I think, is a 2 left fielder, and we're going to see if that'll allow. That's a big insurance run if we can get that to happen. Coleman is a 2. With a runner on third, 2 left field. And that's going to say runner scores, S out at home. Fly out, runner scores, S out at home. McReynolds is definitely not an S. That's slow. He's fast. So he's going to score. That's going to be a sacrifice fly. So that's clutch for Santana to bring in that insurance run, critical in a game like this, game that's so close. David Cone now. We're going to let David Coney bat. I don't want to make any more changes. 44, and that's a strikeout. That's out number 3. So Coney's going to finish up this game. He's going to hopefully he finishes up this game. Ozzie Smith, it's 5-3 now. 5-3, a home run by Strawberry, and then a double and a sacrifice fly by Santana. Puts the Mets up by 2 here in the bottom of the 9th. Ozzie Smith, the pitch from Cone, 33. That's going to be a 0, so that's going to be a hit for sure. Now let's see if we can get Ozzie can get extra bases out of this. And nope, he's going to be held to a single. So Wilson holds him to a single, but there's no keeping Ozzie Smith there. Tommy Herr, the batter. Here's the pitch to Tommy Herr. There goes Smith, the throw down, and Smith is safe. Stolen base for Smith. Let's do that again. Stolen base for Smith. Stolen base. So Smith is on his second. Here's the pitch to Tommy Herr from Cone. 45. That's ball 4. So the tying runs are on base right now. Nobody's out. Will Clark. Now Will Clark hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th to tie the game at 3. Here's the pitch from Cone. And that's a 13. That's ball 4. Bases are loaded. Okay. And now it's pitching change time because this is not working for us. We got Jesse Orozco coming in. We got Gene Walter being used. We got Jesse Orozco. Who's batting? Willie McGee. We're going to bring in Jesse Orozco. He's a guy that was used a lot. Mets have a lot of faith in him. So I kind of go with the guys that the Mets are using. Jesse Orozco is a D. But that's who we're going to bring in. That's right. I'm crazy. We already gave Cone an opportunity. He failed us. So we're going to bring in Jesse Orozco with the bases loaded, and we're going to just see what happens. So Cone is out. Orozco, and I know I have Orozco. There he is. And he is a DXYZ, so I'm going to remember that. I'm not going to write all that down right now. All right, bases loaded, nobody out. He becomes a C for this batter, Willie McGee. Here's the pitch. That's a 28 with the bases loaded. Infield back. So we're looking for a double play. I doubt that we're going to get it on that roll. That's a 16. It becomes a 28 on McGee's card. And it's going to be with the infield back. A 28 is going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice. Everybody else advances. It's a ground ball to short. Santana flips the tuffle back to first. Not in time. Run scores. 5-4. Fielder's choice. 6-4. That runner advances. That runner advances. That runner is out. First and third. Tommy Herr is at third. That's the tying run. Infield is in for Jim Lindemann. Now, I cannot let this game keep on going because we're already almost at 10 o'clock. So I have to I have to see who else the Mets are using to bring in a better pitcher because this is not going to work. We need somebody who's an A at this point. Otherwise, we're going to be here all night. And I'm running out of players. So this is not good. We want it to end here. Sisk, Leach, and Myers. That's what we're going to do. We're bringing in Randy Myers. That's what we're gonna. I think Myers is an A. Let's see. Leach is good. Sisk is good. Myers is a C. So Randy Myers, but he's got a. All right. So let's see who they used there. Sisk was the last guy they brought in. So I'm gonna bring in Sisk. I'm gonna bring in Sisk. I believe Doug Sisk there. He comes in. He's going to be an A for this batter, and then he becomes a B. So Sisk, he's a righty, right-hander. And here goes. First and third. Infield's in for the Mets. They're trying to prevent the tying run from scoring in the bottom of the ninth. McGee's on at first. Tommy Herr is on at third. Sisk on the mound. Looks in for the sign. Lindemann in the box. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a 42. That's a strikeout. So that's good news. Lindemann goes down swinging. Sisk has good control. Strikes out Lindemann. There's 2 outs now, and it's Terry Pendleton. Pendleton is a switch hitter batting from the should be. I don't know if we have him down as a switch hitter. Now we do. Batting from the left side. So there's 2 outs now, 5-4. The tying run is at third base, so the infield is back now, and we're going to pitch to Pendleton. I'd rather pitch to somebody else, a pinch hitter, but I don't have any more batters. So, oh my God, Jesus Christ, snake eyes! This could actually be the ball game. I would rather have that goal happen. 21, that's going to be a double. Let's see if McGee, who's fast, scores from first with 2 outs. I believe he does. First and third, that's going to be driven in the gap. That's going to roll to the wall. Let's see if runners on first and third allows McGee to score against, he's a B pitcher, that doesn't matter. Double, clears the bases, game is over. Game-winning hit, Terry Pendleton in the bottom of the ninth. Mets bullpen just couldn't cut it tonight. They couldn't hold the Cardinals. It's a double for Pendleton. Drives in McGee with the winning run. Tying run with Herr. Winning run with McGee. Game is over. Mets lose it by a score of 6-5. An unbelievable comeback with 2 runs in the 8th inning. Actually, the Mets were up 3-0 until the 7th. Cardinals scored a run, made it 3-1. Then in the 8th, it was a 2-run homer by Clark, tied it at 3-3. The Mets came back in the top of the 9th, scored 2, but Cardinals would not be denied with 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th, thanks to Terry Pendleton. The win is going to go to Todd Worrell, even though he didn't deserve it. Pitched atrociously. And the loss is going to go to Jesse Orosco, because that is the run that was the losing run for the Mets. Jesse Orosco takes the loss. He gave up that 1 walk. And that walk was to McGee, I believe. No, McGee reached on a fielder's choice. So he actually got an out. So that's that's not going to be his loss, because that runner is really credited. That would have been an out. So that runner is really credited to the previous pitcher. So I have to correct that. So it's going to be David Cohn who gets the loss, who loaded the bases. Yep. So Cohn gets the loss, and Todd Worrell gets the win. Mets, I think, fall to 6-3 to begin the season, and that's all she wrote, guys. So that's all she wrote, man. So that was it. It was an exciting game. It lasted a lot longer than I wanted. I swear to you, I played APBA games in 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I think I've played a couple in 18 minutes. And for some reason, my APBA games are lasting so long. I don't know why. But it was a great game, man. I had my fill. I had my baseball fix. You know, I'm an addict, and I have to admit it. I had my baseball fix tonight. This was a great game. There were 22 hits, 5 errors, 15 men left on base between both teams, 11 runs scored, tremendous comebacks by both teams. It was an exciting game. What can I say? So that's all. This is CP Cards and Dice saying have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. And I will check you guys out when you also stream something. So have a good night. Take care.